I'm super excited to have this panel. These are some of my favorite women, and I know they're going to give you some great nuggets of information, and just what they're going to talk about is going to, I'm sure, inspire you because their energy is outstanding. Okay, so I'm going to pass it on to you as our super moderator. They hear my hair? Hold on. Okay.
Good morning. Who in here was at the Athletes last night? Raise your hand. Anybody? Okay, we're delighted. Of course. I'm very glad to hear. Another question for the audience. Who in here uses AI? Okay. Who in here is a creator? Okay, perfect. So this conversation is going to be perfectly primed. You are going to walk away with gems and insights from these incredibly brilliant women. Before we get into introductions, I'll have each of the ladies introduce themselves. But I want to talk about what this conversation is about. This conversation is about AI, the creator economy, and how some of these conversations have been dominated by fear. Fear of losing what makes your voice yours, fear of losing authenticity, and this panel is not here for that. This is about creators and strategists coming together to ask whether to use AI and how to hand off some of these menial tasks towards AI so they can continue to create, be thoughtful, be intentional in the work that they're doing. My name is Jodie Taylor. I spend my days at the intersection of I'm a corporate senior leader. I'm also a content creator. So this work is really intentional and meaningful to me. And today I'm joined by an incredible panel of women, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves and also say what they're currently using AI for, and if you have an AI tip or trick that you love.
I will kick it off. Thank you, Jodie. My name is Tameka Bazile. I am the Associate Director of B2B Social and Content at Business Insider, and I'm also a B2B content creator as well. So a lot like Jodie, I also sit at the intersection of social and the use of AI regularly. If I could give one AI tip, I am a huge proponent of AI to eliminate workflow and to make processes more smooth. I don't the admin, it doesn't serve me. It really doesn't. And as both a creative in the corporate space and a creator, a lot of the time we get lost in the juggle of admin, and AI can definitely alleviate that headache. So that would be my sentence.
Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Nikkia McClain, and it's not honorary. And the so I start Scott. I'm not a creator, but I'm here, so I have a bit of influence. Founder and CEO of Tenatical Creative Agency. I also have an organization called Support Your Girlfriends. And if I'm going to give you a tip today, it's start using AI. If you're not doing it already, you should be using it. What I will tell you is don't let it take over everything, but the goal is to work smarter and not harder. And if you think about cell phones, my first cell phone was in 1996 when I was 16. So not sure if I'm aging myself. And think about where cell phones are today. So can you only imagine what AI is going to look like 20 plus years from now? You might could even create your own man, just like AI, think be a man. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Liberty White with She Learns AI and Women in AI Futures. And what we do, much like this conversation we'll have today, is really helping women learn how to implement AI, whether that be at your job or at your work. So I'm a founder, and the AI tip that I would give is just even from as a founder, as business development, like using it to be your COO. Helping you with your operations, getting those things straight. Because as creators, we don't always want to do those tasks. And when I look at AI, it is the opportunity for us to really level the playing field. So instead of going out, I've tried to fundraise, I've raised some money in the past, but to be able to put those pitch decks together, to be able to synthesize what you're going to say to an investor, to be able to do that at the click of a button, that's just going to put you ahead of your competition.
Hello, everyone. My name is Powell. I am a social media strategist and creatorpreneur, and currently dealing with self-prescribed bronchitis. Help me out here, y'all. But I am someone who definitely describes herself as a B2B creator, very similar to the ladies over here. I create content on LinkedIn about marketing with creator economy, social media, and entrepreneurship. I'm also the founder of the Co., which is a social media creative services agency that specializes in social strategy and creative direction. My hat for AI, which is something that I like to use almost in the form as a junior creative strategist. That's what I like to call Claude or ChatGPT. I always love to use AI to write prompts. The thing about AI is that you're only as just your prompts. So if you feel like you're not getting able to get your point across in terms of like what you're telling your LLM how to execute on something, ask it to help you write a prompt for another LLM.
No, that's really, really clear. Okay, so there's a conversation that's really centered around fear when it comes to content creation, and particularly when it comes to AI. And I think we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room that fear is amplified, particularly when we're talking about marginalized communities. Talk to me about what that conversation is like and how you all are navigating those conversations, whether it's by tool, whether it's within your respective communities.
No, I'll take it. I think you get element especially, and we family here. We right? We're all family in here. I think especially for us as Black people, people of color, we tend to operate out of a place of fear, and that is out of a sense of self-preservation for many reasons, right? So when it comes to AI, that element of self-preservation. For us, it's the understanding that, okay, if I am working through this AI, does it now subsequently lessen my skill set or make me less than what I am? And I urge you, especially as people of color, as Black people, to kind of change your mindset around what AI can do for you. I am a big proponent of learning how to use it personally. So before you even step into it professionally, sometimes you need to see, okay, how can it enhance my life, right? Small menial tasks that can start to kind of like culminate over time will definitely start to help you see where this might be able to fit in your life professionally and how you might be able to grow and use this in a way that can exponentially accelerate your career. So I'm always a proponent of start small if it feels uncomfortable. Sometimes our careers feel so big and they feel like a large risk that we are taking. And that's okay. Don't risk it in your professional life. Learn to use it in your personal life and then go from there.
I'd like to actually build on that because we do a lot of training and workshops and special events around AI. And when you can find something like a problem that you have and then attribute it to that. So if you have challenges writing, then go ahead and like, okay, let me try. You can almost talk to it. It's natural language. So you can talk to it, speak into it, dictate, whatever that may be, and get your thoughts out of your head. And then ask it to structure it for you. So if you do something along those lines, that'll really help. Because whenever there is a problem that you have to solve, it makes it more real to you. And when you do that, and it's like, oh, that's not bad. And then now, you try something else, and then you try something else. And that's how we find, we like to say, we like to build muscle memory. I used to play basketball, so, you got to do those sprints and all of that. The same thing, the more you do it, the stronger, more confidence you'll get.
I'm going to go to another side of that. Only because I'm coming from an agency side. When I look at creators, y'all are the less fearful people that are in this world. You actually said, let me create something. Started with the camera phone, right? Think about when you got started. There was your camera phone. Then you got the wand to make it walls. They were like, oh, I'll get the video that follows me around. But you build from that. So I will say as creators, y'all are the less fearful people. It's just another tool. AI is another tool. Social media was a tool. It's just another tool. And because of you creators being as have influencer marketing, which is like top of marketing. So what I would say is don't look at it as fear. Just look at it as another tool and take the steps, which what's overwhelming is that there's so much AI in the world. Like you got Claude, you got ChatGPT, you got Jasper, you got so many. So that becomes overwhelming, but you got to build that skill set. So no fear, just y'all done it already. You became yourselves already. So just take the action steps to make sure you know what you're doing when it comes to AI.
And I would just say embrace the fear. I mean, on the other side of fear is excellence. Yeah. And I think as you're moving through your journey, period. I think as you're moving through your journey as a creative, you're always going to be faced with things that make you uncomfortable or may feel unfamiliar. But honestly, I feel like the more I've gotten in this habit of saying yes and, yes, I have anxiety. Yes, I'm stressed about this. Yes, it's very scary to do, and I'm going to do it anyway. The more I've been able to trust my decision making. And I will say it has helped me secure a substantial bag. So keep doing the things that make you feel, fearful or scared anyway, because you will find success on the other end of it.
Oh, yeah. Is anyone in here nervous about using AI, particularly as a creator? Okay, this is interactive. We're family here. I mean, I basically do whatever. You're there, Adrian. Can you tell me a little bit around what your fear is? I think this is a great panel to have that conversation.
Absolutely. I think the lack of authenticity, especially as a creator who wants to represent plus size Black women, everybody Black woman. I want to make sure that I'm still coming off authentic, but he's coming off authentic. But also, I would like a little help in the creative space. But just wanting to be authentic in me, and that I don't know why I feel like I'm cheating. I don't know. It's just something. It's like it goes too brown, like too much, like.
Yeah, so does anyone, any of our neighbors want to add to that?
Yeah, I want to touch on the cheating part.
Yeah.
Because we in Black people, we've conditioned ourselves to think that adversity is what makes us great.
Say that again.
And and adversity and getting it up out the mud is not what makes us great, okay? What makes us great is our ability to channel ourselves. We are culture, okay? Yeah. What we bring to the table in terms of our creativity, in terms of the way we see the world, our thought processes. And I also want to make this conducive not only to the creators in the room, but for anyone who has a full-time career, corporate. Everything is shifting in this age of AI. And so although we talk about it in the sense of like our own personal aspirations, AI is realistically, it's coming for your jobs. It is. And we have to allow ourselves to roll with the punches, and we have to allow ourselves to be at the forefront of what this AI revolution will look like. None of this is cheating. Learning to incorporate your brain, your presence, your thought process, how you see the world into your AI. One of my favorite AI tools is actually not even Claude or ChatGPT. It's called Stan. And it's an AI that studies me. And I call it my second grade. It studies my content. I can ask the AI anything. I can ask it to pull content from years ago. A few years ago, I talked about XYZ on LinkedIn. Can you pull up that post? I want to recreate a post of that nature. And the AI will literally LLM, like I am the search, right? And I think that that's important, right? It starts to change the scope of how you see AI, because when you become the prompt, now you see it as a second skin, a second brain. It's still your creativity, it's still your output, it's still what you put into the world, but the filing cabinet back there, girl, it don't store everything the way it used to, okay? You're getting into my mid-30s. And it's important. It's important to see this as a tool and an extension of yourself and not necessarily something looking to replace your creativity. Thanks.
I don't think as long as you're being your authentic self, right? That's the most important thing. How many of us see creators and then you're pulled out when they're not authentic? So stay true to who you are. And even similar to the tool you use, you can upload your content, you can upload your recordings. And again, stay authentic. Don't copy that entire thing that they give you that, prompt, right? You don't got to copy the whole thing. You want to make sure that is this speaking to my authentic brand? Is this speaking to who I am? You want to make sure that you are still being you. And as long as you're showing up authentically, they're going to come. And don't forget, listen, that's imposter syndrome, which I don't believe in. I'm dead for the day. It's gone. Yes.
Gone.
I won.
Anyone else want to add to that before we move on?
Yeah, I think also to both the points here, it's like keeping the human in the loop. Like you're still a part of it. Think of it as doing the first draft, the first iteration of the strategy, so that you can bring your genius to it and put your sauce on it. So if you can, let's flip that narrative, continue to be curious. I throw some data points out there. Leading just did a study with McKinsey at the end of last year, and on the job, men are encouraged to use AI. So we're already a little bit behind the 8 ball if you think about it. So go in being curious. We like to say, have your AI bestie. So you have your bestie that you like. Share things. I just learned Stan. I just learned using skills with Claude for automation. Like that, and share that information with your friends, and then challenge each other to try to do things differently.
Does anyone work in a workplace in which you have KPIs around AI now? Emily? I do, because you do too, right?
Yeah.
You are now getting gold under usage of AI. And so this is coming. So whether you're a creator, whether you're working in corporate, it's incredibly important for you to upskill in AI, because that is going to be a skill that is part of your performance, right? You just, okay, I need to add that in chat. Got it in. You're not. I want to make this tactical, because I know you all want to leave here with something that you can sort of implement immediately. So if you were to tell the audience, here's a way to integrate AI into your workflow, whether you're a creator, whether you are working in corporate, an entrepreneur, what is a tip or a opportunity for them to integrate AI into their workflow, and you can start wherever?
Yeah. So I have a brand partnerships board in Notion. How many are familiar with Notion? Yes. That highly recommend. They have AI inspiration as well. But I have a brand partnerships board in Notion where I manage all of my brand partnerships. So it tells me when my deliverables are due, when I have to send first drafts, when I have to do my final publishing date, and then it also shows me where my contracts live and as well as my briefs. And that's something that I started building manually at first, but over time I started teaching Claude how to update those that board for me. So every week, if I have a couple brand partnerships coming in, I'll have it sourced through my Gmail, reference the partnership discussion in the email thread, and then we'll pull out the contract as well as the brief, upload it to my drive, and then attach the link to my board. And then that way I'm like, go during my week and I'm like, okay, what do I have to work on this week? I know where my grief is, where my drive is, and then I know when it's due and what I have to work on first. And the only thing I have to do is update, the status. So when it's in progress, or when I finish the deliverable, or when I'm finally sent the invoice. And it just makes saving my time a lot more easier. And then I focus on using AI to automate a lot of my processes, but I focus on the creativity and the outlet of all.
I love in here. So I use Google Gemini because I work both in corporate and as a creator. You can imagine the amount of calendars that I have to manage on a regular basis. But Google Gemini actually combines my calendars. It keeps track of everything that I have to do per day, including my tasks. Every morning, it sends me an update that connects back to my Alexa. So when I wake up in the morning, I say, Alexa, give me my morning updates. It tells me all of the meetings that I have, the tasks that I have to do. Google Gemini can also prioritize my tasks according to due date, how important they are, prioritization. If my manager sends me an email and says that something needs to be reprioritized and it's connected to a task that I have in my Google, it will reprioritize on its own, and it will let me know that this is probably going to be the first thing that you need to do per day. And that is, I wanted to give a practical example of how I use AI just in life and career, because that has allowed me to be able to fill the gaps in I don't have a morning routine. I know that that's something that a lot of people do. But every morning I plan my day around how much shit I really have to do. And AI allows me to really go into okay, I get this full workup from Alexa. This is what my calendar looks like. Is it about to be that type of day? Now I'm going to plan my morning routine around what type of day I'm going to have, because I can start out that way. So,
I'll throw in two. So I do use Claude. Claude, I think, or Anthropic has really been at the forefront in shifting the way a lot of other companies are now running. So they have skills and they have routines, and those are ways that you can use, create your own agents with your workflow. So for me, it's the prioritizing. That's my thing, prioritizing my day. Number two, how many people use the script? Very good idea. So the script, underlord, all the things, let it help you. That's taking off the time that it would take you to get the ums and ahs and all of the thing out of your content. Then now you're able to go and fine tune it. So I would say the script is vague. Yeah.
Again, I'm coming from an agency, so we have a lot of tools that we use, but one that we just got, and I don't know if y'all seen them here this week, it's SEMrush. And I love SEMrush because with AI, as an agency, when we're doing marketing and PR and we're looking for journalists, it'd just be someone who covers health. I literally can say, I'm looking for a journalist that focuses on Black women around cardiovascular disease, and it'll populate that for me. And then you could put that on some sort of automatic process where it now is giving that to you daily, like it's feeding it to you daily. So again, trying to make life a lot easier for my team. So it's like, that's one less thing you have to worry about, right? That's one less cold call you got to do. You have all the information there. So do your due diligence, get it done. So I would say use those tools also for your business, right?
I would love to know how much time would that have taken you manually in the
Oh my, okay. From a pitching standpoint, a journalist receives over 1,000 pitches a day, 1,000 pitches a day. Because we have SIMrush, it's already sending out 1,000 for us. It does it in a matter of minutes. Before you have, and you had to do it individually because journalists are rock stars, and you want to make them feel that way because you want them to pick up that story. Down was doing it for you. It's putting their name, it's saying the last article they worked on, and why your client may be the best position for that. So it's amazing.
Can I just quickly just add to that? Just, I think, I don't know if I said agents, but like we're moving, you still always need to use prompts, but agents, autonomous workflows, like just putting those keywords out there so that you walk away here, going to do your research so that you can be ahead of the crowd.
Okay, who in here learned something about AI? Something new. Amazing. Okay. This has been a fantastic panel with 4 incredible, brilliant minds. I believe we'll be up here for a little bit. So if you want to ask more interpersonal questions or more tactical questions about integrating AI, you have these lovely women here. Thank you so, so much. I know it's bright. I know it's early, but we appreciate you. Thank you.